What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Tottenham have beaten Newcastle 5-1 in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the crucial game to keep pressure on Arsenal as Tottenham move into the top four after what was an absolutely resounding victory. I'm joined by Henry Wright from Henry Wright TV. How are we doing today? What an absolutely brilliant win that was for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a 5-star second half performance. First half was very, very even, but second half we were on a different level. And Harry Kane today was he's just the best player in the league. It's him and Salah are right up there. You could put them in any order and you won't look stupid, but what a performance. I mean, everyone, Doherty, Davis, Dion Romero didn't really put a foot wrong. Benson Core in the middle of the park. Kulusevski gets his assist. Son gets a goal and an assist. Kane got an assist. Just an incredible performance. I mean, we've got to be happy going into Villa on Saturday now.
Yeah, and all our defenders as well, Doherty, Emerson, Davis all getting on the score sheet. Shows the defenders starting to contribute. And as well, what was really crucial about today was the fact that when we were struggling to break him down in the first half, I don't think we were playing badly, but we were struggling to break him down. We were, they get a goal just before half time and you're fearing the worst. You're thinking the whole half we struggled to break him down. How are we going to react to this? And then we respond like we did, and we responded in such an impressive way. Within 10 minutes of playing time, we were 2-1 up, and that shows the mentality of this team right now and how we're so good for this top four race. And I honestly think, that's 6 wins in the last 8 now. Each win, I think, has been, apart from the Man City game, has been by over 2 goals. Mm-hmm. We've scored 4 past Leeds. We've scored 5 past Everton.
3 against West Ham.
3 against West Ham. 3 against Man City. We hit 5.
2 against Brighton.
Today. Even against United, we got 2, even though we lost.
That's 5, 10, 12, 15, 17 goals. 15 goals in our last 5 games.
We have really put ourselves back in this conversation. To put ourselves into the top 4 at this stage of the season, psychologically, I think will be very important. Just before we get into our first guest, we'll just go through Super Chat quickly. Michael Hellman says, I am concerned about the left wing-back position for the rest of the season. Well, did you watch Doherty today? I thought he played very well.
Yeah.
Left wing-back is nothing to be concerned about. And look, Reguilon's going to be back as well, and it'll be interesting to see what he does, because I think the wing backs today did do well in place of Reguilon being out. But I would like to see Reguilon back in his natural position.
It's good though to have difficult choices. It's not like we've got one and out wing back, and when Sessegnon will be back in a couple of weeks as well. So
and it's good to have. It's not only good to have good different hard options, but it's good to know and have confidence that if Reguilon is injured, that Doherty can come into that position and play as effectively as he did today.
Yeah, I mean, Reguilon, like you said, I think he trained yesterday, didn't he? That he pulled up a lack of fitness or something. He'll be back, but we are firing on all cylinders. That is the most important thing. We're not relying on just Harry Kane at the moment for goals. Son's our top goal scorer. 2 of our back 5 chipped in with goals. Dion Romero Romero today was exceptional. Mm-hmm. We're not so reliant on Kane and Son as much as we are in the last couple of games. Everyone else seems to be chipping in, and there's unity in the squad that every single player, Kane and Kulusevski and Son, have a relationship now. They look like they've been playing with each other for years. I know Kane and Son have, but Kulu's just been thrown into the mix, and no player has had more goals and assists combined since he's made his debut. And at 21 years old, that's a great bit of business from Paratici. I take my hat off to him.
It almost seems as if as well, how Arsenal getting rid of Aubameyang and in January and how that's affected their performances. I think us getting those players who weren't playing and on big wages out the squad has really improved us ever since that's happened in January. You can see the togetherness is very much there now. But look, let's start getting some guests on. Let's see what the fans think about today's performance. And we'll start with Wes the King. Yes, Wes, how are we doing, mate? Oh, are you on mute? Is he on mute? Is it? There we go.
It's static, bro. It's static.
I can see it in your face, my friend.
Man, I mean, this is probably the best performance we've had this season to me. Like, everybody contributed. Everybody played well. Doherty, this time is an inverted wingback, was in the right positions. One thing about Doherty, he gets in the right positions every single time. He's always in an area where he can probably get like a rebound goal or any position to get just to have another chance at the ball in the box. So it's great that so I see why Conte is just so reliant on having him sometimes as an inverted wing back. And as you see, it showed today because he was just, he did his job today. Everybody did. Romero out here showing that he's going to be one of the best center backs in the Premier League. I wish we got a clean sheet, but Lloris, he could have got that, but then he didn't. But it is what it is. We end up. The thing I like is that we didn't put our head down once they scored that first goal. We went right back at them right after, like 2 minutes after. We went right back at them and got a goal and put it back level. We're vying for top 4 now. We're going after it now.
You seem confident. What was your general feeling in that first half before you were 1-0 down? Did you feel like we were playing well and could have or did you feel like when we conceded, Newcastle deserved it?
I feel like it was like pretty even. It was a little bit of a boring game throughout the first half, a little bit until the ending. We were it was kind of going back and forth, but they were staying. To me, I think Newcastle was staying very compact. They were clearly sitting back. They wanted us to break them down, and I think they kind of knew that we have troubles with that. We don't have somebody who can do intricate passes through balls, anything in the middle. And with Bentancur, he can kind of do it, but Højbjerg's not really that type of player. They're more ball winner players. So they knew that, so they just sat back and stayed very composed, and it was working for them. And they were able to get the first goal from a set piece because they know we're horrible with defense when it comes to set pieces. So I say that they kind of deserved probably that first goal. It was kind of going back and forth, but they stayed to their game plan until they completely faltered after we got that goal to level it against them. I think after that they kind of broke down, especially by the second half.
I think first half, I think they did their job. They frustrated us and made it really difficult. But 4 yellow cards in the first half. It was very scrappy. We come away with about 58% possession in the first half, but it looked a lot more even than that, didn't it? Second half, we show. Well, let's talk about it. For first half, we go behind due to a free kick. We show massive amounts of character to come back, score 3 minutes later, and then the second half, you think, do you know what? Let's come out firing strong. And we come out the blocks, and every single player to a man was brilliant, weren't they? I mean, who were your besides Harry Kane, obviously dropping masterclasses? Who were your standout players in that second half?
Man, I don't even know. I don't even know because everybody to me played what they're supposed to do. I feel like if you're talking about like maybe Bentancur in the middle, maybe Kulusevski and Kulusevski also because he was very, very good on that right side. But then you got Bentancur who was just and Højbjerg who were just completely like dominating the midfield, making sure that we kept possession, make sure we got out of sticky situations when they tried to pressure us from the back. We did excellent passing from the back. We had them draw up so we can create space, and it helped us get a lot of those goals we got today. So I don't have one. I think the Spurs Twitter account said they had problems choosing that man in the match also. So I'm in the same as them.
And you were saying about top 4, but with the win today and the way we're playing, we're 5 points behind Chelsea. Are you looking up? Are you looking up, or what are you thinking?
Oh, no, that right there. Now let's not get like going for third. Like that's the problem with us because we get so excited because we do Spurs do these kind of, you don't never know what they're going to do the next game. But I have confidence that about top 4 now. I have confidence about top 4. If Chelsea can lose maybe a game or tie or do a couple draws here and there, maybe that becomes more and more of a thing, that third place. But I don't want to go too far ahead of third place. We're focused on trying to get that top 4.
Yeah, you're spot on. Arsenal still got to play Chelsea, United, and West Ham, and we've kind of besides Liverpool. You'd favour us to get the win in most of the games. Obviously, Tottenham, we could go 3 or 4 games, unbelievable, and then lose. We're very yo-yo at times, but everyone's kind of, like I said earlier, there's a unity in the squad now where everyone's seems to be believing in, I don't like using the word process, but everyone seems to be believing in what Conte's, the message he's putting across, that winning mentality. And players like, shout out to Doherty for turning around his career. We probably all of us in January said, you know what, let's get rid of him. And fair play, Conte's come in and he said, shoved a rocket up Doherty and said, "You need to sort yourself out." And he's turned it around. He's got 2 goals now, and in his last 7 or 8 games, he's putting in performances week in, week out, and it's giving Conte a little bit of a headache as well, because you're bringing Bergwijn off the bench, and even he's getting a goal. He did really well in the international break, and it's kind of saying, well, Bergwijn's knocking on the door now. But where do you? I tell you what, if Bergwijn was to start, where would he play for you?
I can see him as a wing back, to be honest with you. I can see him in that kind of position. That's probably the only way we can fit him in. If we've decided that's only way I can see another way of him getting in is if we do a 3-5-2, put Kulusevski at the attacking midfielder, like I really want. I feel like we put him as attacking midfielder, he would be a whole lot more dangerous than what he is on the right side. And we put Bergwijn on like that right wing back area. I feel like that would be a lineup that Conte can have in the back in his back pocket when it comes to tactics. But I can see him as a wing back. I can see him because he has a work rate. He has a work rate to go back and forth like that. I know he's not probably that type of mentality player like that. To me, I think he's more of I think Conte sees him more of a striker position, center forward, somewhere on the top. But I can see him playing that role, and I'm sure he'll probably do it if he wants to get minutes, because that's the main thing he's been vying to try to get, and he's been showing it on international. Every time he plays for Netherlands, he is scoring, and he deserves minutes for Tottenham. So I hope to see him get more minutes, because he does deserve it. He's been balling.
All right, Wes. Always great to chat to you, my friend. Good to have you on, and a great day like today as well. Brilliant performance, 3 points, and let's get that top 4 place. And I'm glad you're believing. But thanks for coming on, mate.
Yeah, thanks you guys. Come on, you Spurs. Come on. Loving the positivity. Just reading some Conte. Conte is currently doing his press conference at the moment. And just a little quote from me. He says, in November, it was very difficult to believe we were in the race for the Champions League. Usually when you change managers, it means there are difficulties, and for sure there were. But in the last period, I've seen that my team is in the race because I can see great improvement. So Conte is starting to believe. This is what we want to hear from him, instead of saying, what did he say after Burnley? We were battling for relegation.
We couldn't. We went for a phase where we were winning, losing, and we struggled to get some consistency. And now we've won 3 on the bounce. We've won 6 of our last 8
winning
games.
Well, we're not just scraping by, you know?
That's the thing. We scored more goals than any other team in 2022. And that, with all due respect to other players, our main goal scorers have been Kane and Son and then own goals. Yeah. But all of a sudden, our defenders have gone out. I mean, I don't know. I'd love to know what he's feeding them, because we're now firing on all cylinders, and it's great to see. It gives him a headache now, because going into Villa, do you bring Bergwijn in? Do you start Kulusevski? If Reguilon's back, do you start Doherty? Do you start Reguilon? But it's a good headache, if that makes sense. Even if you can get
he's taken the concrete out of Doherty's boots. That's what he's done.
Yeah,
that's probably helped a lot. A couple of super chats here. Cobra says, "What do you think? What do you guys think about 4-2-4 with Kane, Son, Kulu, Bergwijn up front, Davis left back, and Doherty right back? That's pretty much how he played for the last 20 minutes or so today, wasn't it? Well, you call it 4-4-2 or 4-2-4, however you like it, really, can't you? Yeah. But we had Lucas on the right, Son on the left, Bergwijn and Kane up top with Doherty right back and David. That's how we had. I think it's a weapon he can use if need be. Yeah, but I think when the 3-4-3 gives us that defensive solidity, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of when we play a 3 in the midfield. We played 3 in the midfield against Liverpool, albeit they didn't have Henderson or they didn't have Thiago playing that game. They played Morton in the middle, didn't they? But when we play a 3 in the middle, we dominate. Saying that, this double pivot of Bentancur and Højbjerg, it's not broken, so you haven't got to fix it. It's not like we're scraping games, As you said, we are thrashing teams. 5 past Newcastle, 5 past Everton, 4 past Leeds, albeit we're not playing. If you want to be critical, you're not putting 3 or 4 past other teams, but we still put 2 past United and 3 past City. So we're firing on. Everyone's putting in performances.
Newcastle,
it's not just Kane and Son. It's everyone else.
My Newcastle friend said Newcastle hadn't conceded more than 1 in a game since December. So they've clearly turned a corner under Eddie Howe, and we've absolutely thrashed them today, 5 goals. And that's, unheard of since Eddie Howe has turned the corner with Newcastle. So I think that definitely deserves credit. Dark Sun G21 says, how does it feel? So he says, how good does it feel to be thrashing teams again? Yeah, look, I think Tottenham are coming back under Conte, aren't we? I think we're seeing the signs of it for sure. And look, I'm all here for it. I'm loving every second of it. And He's got us all believing again, hasn't he?
He said in his just after the game, we're a tough team to beat now. You know, no one's going to be wanting to come into the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to play us. And we've got, out of our remaining 8 games, we've got more of them at home. We've still got to play majority of our games at home. I think we've only got to play Brentford, Norwich and Liverpool away. The rest of them are home, including the North London derby. So he deserves all the credit in the world, and it's just showing how good of a manager he is. If we go in the summer and actually back him, and I'm talking not just, you know, a couple of £30 million players, I'm talking actually back this manager, we can be right up there. Like he's turning Emerson Royale and Doherty into good players. Even Harry Winks at times this season. I know that's very a rare occurrence, but even Winks has gone, do you know what? He actually looks a good player.
He came on and played well today, didn't he?
Exactly, and it's Harry Winks. You know, he's been sideways FC for months. If we bring actual world-class talent to this team, we'll be right up there. And I'm not just talking top 4, I'm talking right up there, challenging.
If he had a squad, if you imagine what you could do with, you know, Chelsea.
If we build this team around Harry Kane, the best player in the league at the moment.
Yeah,
and the manager.
Another super chat from Dark Sun G says, I love how we are scoring 2+ goals now in every game. It feels good. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not just winning by, like, I know Arsenal are winning games, and fair enough, they're being consistent, but they're 1-0 against Villa, 3-2 against Watford.
Yeah, 3 points is still 3 points.
Look, 3 points is 3 points, but they're scraping by. I'm not saying it's worth less. I'm saying in the future, it might get them undone when you know, an unlucky goal goes on in the last minute or something and they drop points. But for us, we're by the 20 minutes to go, the game's done. That's how it seems to be of late. And another super chat by Darkseed21, it says, this is what happens when we have no injuries from international breaks. This is the first time this season our best 11 are fit and healthy after the break. Well, the funny thing is they're not, because Reguilon was out and Doherty had to play left wing back, and we still coped with that. So it's even more impressive than you think, Dark Sunji. And Andrew Mason says, how would you feel about dipping back into Juve and trying to get Dybala and McKennie this summer? Think they'd both be incredible for the squad.
Dybala's a free transfer, isn't he? I know Inter Milan are heavily linked to him, but Dybala in this team would be, because now you're talking an out-and-out number 10. Not that Harry Kane can be in the box now. I mean, as much as we all love him spraying the ball 70 yards to Son and Son touching it down like a god, Harry Kane is our main goal scorer. You know, he's chasing Jimmy Greaves' record. Dybala in this team, we're comfortably a top 4 team. And just for another incredible stat, our last 3 home games, we've scored 13 goals. 3 against West Ham, 5 against Everton, and 5 against Newcastle.
On a roll.
Conceded 2. So when you look at it like that, that's incredible. That's ridiculous. We've scored more goals than City and Liverpool in 2022.
Wow.
And they're the best 2 teams in the world at the moment.
That goes to show the impact of Conte. And McKennie as well. I believe McKennie, if we got him as well, he would definitely fit in to that Højbjerg Bentancur role really well.
Bentancur and McKennie in a double pivot would be wonders. And then it gives him even more of a headache, because Højbjerg at the moment is playing well. And it's like when Oliver Skip comes back, do we go to a 3 in the midfield and does he play that sweeping role, or do we just carry on at the moment playing these 2? You know, it's all good stuff. We're not coming on here, you know, whoever comes on next, we're not going to be coming on here and going, oh, right, another loss. Because when we lost those back-to-back games against Southampton and Wolves, the fan base was really low. And now, 13 goals in the last 3 home games, won 5 out of the last 6. You know, albeit we lost to Middlesbrough in that run, but we're absolutely flying. And, you know, sitting top 4, Arsenal got to play tomorrow. I guarantee you every single person will be cheering on Patrick Vieira like you've never been seen, even if he is ex-Arsenal. We'll all be hoping that Andre Ayew pulls out a masterclass.
We're all going to be tuning in tomorrow, that's for sure. But now, let's bring our next guest. We've got Ross in the house. Let's bring him on. Hey, Ross, how we doing, mate?
Doing great. Champagne football is back on the menu, boys.
Damn right, and I'm ordering it all day long. Give me double portions. Come on. What a performance today. Let me ask you, you know, we were 1-0 down with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Within 10 minutes, we're 2-1 up. What was your feeling when we conceded that goal? What was your reaction at that time?
I mean, obviously didn't like it. You know, I mean, never want to concede a goal, especially that early. But the set piece, that's our kryptonite.
But were you worried? Were you fearing the worst? Like, this is it. We've struggled to break them down. We're not going to go and get 3 points in this game.
A little bit, but then we do what we've been doing lately. We went right back down and got the equalizer. We go back and answer. We don't remember in the past. Oh, we'll kind of go on the back foot. We get down on ourselves. No, we're like, oh, we'll just go get one back. And that's
How
what we did.
important? How important was that goal just before half time to get it at that time?
Huge, because that puts the pressure squarely back on them. They're feeling great. Oh, we got a goal. We're a goal up away. Tottenham's playing so well. Then we come back and score a goal. They're going, uh-oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
I
Go
mean,
on.
No, I was going to say we concede from a set piece yet again. In your opinion, Ross, do you think Lloris could have done better? I mean, we've been very critical in the studio. Do you think he's going through bodies, he's seen it late, or do you think he could have done better there?
I don't know. I find it hard to criticize Hugo. I mean, that guy has been. I don't even want to think about where we would be without Hugo Lloris. And so I usually don't come down too hard on it. But also, he really shouldn't have been in that position to begin with. I mean, we shouldn't give away a free kick that close. Sonny just chopped at him, and I'm going, oh, come on. You can't give a free kick that close, especially with the trouble we've had in defending him.
Yeah, definitely. And that obviously was a big blow. But look, that second half performance, where do you rank it in our recent displays? Do you think it was the very best?
Oh, yes. I mean, I can't think of anybody that played bad, looking at it. And, both our wingbacks scored. I mean, come on.
And Ben Davis.
And Ben Davis. I tell you, with Royal, when those Brazilians go blonde, look out. It's like when they go Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
So that was awesome to see him because, he gets so much grief from everybody. So it was great for Darty and him to get in there and get goals.
Yeah, and look, a lot of talk before the game with Reguilon being out was who we're going to play at left back and if Doherty's going to be okay if he plays at left back. And, he ended up starting there and he had a fantastic game. So how much credit do you give Doherty for playing that position as well as he did today?
He did great. He did fantastic, because that's not his normally. Normally he's on the right. He has to play over on the other side. But he's done great. I mean, he's really turned things around. I mean, he's getting into those dangerous areas. He's getting forward. He's getting into the box. That's where he excels. That's what he did at Wolves. That was the Matt Doherty we thought we were getting when he came from Wolves. So it's just great to see, and he did a great job. And wingbacks are our X factor. So go the wingbacks. So goes Tottenham. So whenever they play well, we play well.
Yeah, and obviously the front three today, they linked up again exceptionally well, especially for that third goal. Kane, Son, and Kulusevski. Are they the key for us for this late top four push? Them three, just the way they're interacting with each other.
Without a doubt. And everybody's talking about it now. The commentators, the pundits, everybody's like, "Oh, Tottenham's front three." It used to just be Son and Kane and whoever else, but Kulusevski's come in and he's added to that. He's brought something that we were missing. And I mean, that guy's, he's so good. I mean, at such a young age, he knows how good he is.
Ross, how much credit do you give Tottenham for the way that we are? 5 or 6, what was it? 7 or 8 games ago, we lost back-to-back games against Southampton and Wolves. And like I said earlier, if we would have won those 2 games now, I know hypothetically, we'd be above Chelsea. How much credit do you give Antonio Conte for actually what he's done since he's come here? He's got the 3rd highest win rate since he's come in as a manager behind Klopp and Guardiola. Right? We've scored the most goals in 2022. Not only that, Paratici's brought in players like Romero this season, Kulusevski, and Bentancur. How much credit did you give Antonio Conte? Not just this game, but since he's come in.
All the credit, and then some. I mean, he's transformed the team. I mean, that's what he does. You back him, you let him do his thing, and he's going to turn you around. He's proven it time and time again. I mean, even the very first game, I know it was a draw against, I think it was Everton, right? But
yeah, nil at Goodison Park.
Even in that first game, I mean, he has completely transformed this team. Guys that we had out, I mean, Eric Dyer, I mean, how many of us had him out the door? Doherty we had out the door. And those guys are turning in good performances. And that's all due to Conte.
Absolutely. So, and now we're above Arsenal in top 4 at the as things stand. Obviously, they got Palace tomorrow away. Where you looking at? Are you thinking we've definitely got a massive chance now in this race, or do you still feel Arsenal have a big advantage going into the last stretch?
I think we got every chance. I think it's there. I mean, if we can keep playing like this, and we have the easier fixtures. I mean, Liverpool away, that's the only one I look at and go, that might be tough to get a result out of that. And, as you said earlier, Arsenal's been scraping by. They've been, barely got by Watford. They haven't exactly been winning convincingly. And they've got to play tougher teams down the stretch. So I have no reason to believe that we won't get it at this point.
I think Liverpool, if I take my actual Tottenham hat off and put a football hat on, I don't think we'll get anything at Liverpool. Not that we're playing terrible, just notoriously, something always goes wrong in a Liverpool game, doesn't it?
Yeah, true. Always
Especially
the last minute.
Anfield as well. I think the last time I don't actually know, have we won there in the Premier League?
In 2011, we did.
Right, so over a decade ago now.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And at that point, Liverpool could be right. Well, the only thing that could go in our favour is if they're further in the Champions League and if there's more pressure on them because City are running away with it. So it could go either way. But I mean, Ross is right. I mean, Villa away, they're in a bad run of form. Then we've got Brighton at home. We've already beaten them twice this season, home and away, home in the cup and away in the league. And then Brentford. Brentford will be very, very tough. Eriksen will just, we know he's going to do something, even if he gets an assist or a goal. But then Leicester, that we got to be winning the next 4 games, and I think we will win. I think we'll win the next 4. I'm going to say it now. I think we'll beat Villa, Brighton, Brentford, and Leicester.
Oh, I think we're going to have
12 out of 12 points. If we can win the next 4, and Arsenal in that time have still got to play Chelsea, West Ham, and United. Losing to Liverpool wouldn't be and us losing to Liverpool. Would be massive for us, but it's not going to be like the nail in the coffin, if you get what I mean. It's not like we're losing to Norwich, if that makes sense. You're losing to, probably the hardest away ground in Europe, Anfield, to go to. But Ross, what did you make of Harry Kane today?
Oh, he just showed he's world class. He's one of the best players in the world. I mean, the guy can do everything. He can do it all out there. I mean, just in the second half, he's just sending that ball everywhere, just playing like a quarterback would in American football.
It's like Tom Brady in his prime.
Like Tom Brady, exactly. Yeah, and he's just incredible. I mean, and people want to slate him and say he's this, he's that. It's like, they're obviously not watching. I don't have to defend him. I just say, look at the numbers. Look at the stats. They speak for themselves.
Absolutely right. Ross, thank you very much for coming on, my man. Much appreciated. Good to speak to you, mate. And love the positivity. We'll speak to you soon.
All right.
Take care, Ross. Thanks for coming on.
Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely lovely stuff. Everyone is absolutely ecstatic today after that unbelievable performance. Who we got coming on next? Who else? The man, the myth, the legend. Let's bring him on. Brian Daigle. You know who it is. What's going on, Brian? Good to see you, my man.
Good to see you both as well. What a fantastic performance. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, we really turned up today, didn't we? In a crunch game, which we needed to put pressure on Arsenal. And we did that today, didn't we?
Oh, in abundance. In abundance. Obviously, when the first goal went in, obviously you think, oh, God, but we responded well. And I'll tell you what, Harry Kane would have been proud of Ben Davies's header. It was a fantastic, fantastic header. And then I just mentioned him, Harry Kane. My good God. My good God. I would honestly say right now in 2022, the best player in the world. In 2022.
That's what Henry said.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not best player, he's definitely top 3. I mean, there's other players that you could put them in any order, it wouldn't look stupid. But Harry Kane at the moment is, he's as good passer as Kevin De Bruyne, as good goal scorer as there has been in the Premier League, and he's doing it in a team that's so reliant on him, and every single week it just performs. If he's not playing a 70-yard diagonal ball to Son, or if he's not putting one in the back of the net, he's just ridiculous. Brian, you've seen some great players throughout the years. How high do you rate Harry Kane in the Tottenham greats?
In the Premier League era, the best.
Better than Gareth Bale?
Better than Gareth Bale. Better than Gareth Bale. And do you know what? And I've realised this. I've been watching the few games back recently and everything. Do you know what he's added to his game? And I wish there was an award for this because he would win it hands down. Not only is he assisting, but he's playing the key passes to the person that he's assisting the assister.
Like the third goal today.
Assist, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And the way he's doing it, and you could have seen in I tweeted, in the first half, he was non-existent. The game was the second half, the 10 minutes of the first half, he was running the show, second half, sorry. And then throughout, he ran the show. It just goes to show his involvement and his... I Do you remember, guys, Timothy, if you remember the Crystal Palace game when you were there and I was saying, oh, Kane's really not trying or whatever. And if he's a world-class player, he should go grab a game by the scruff of the neck and force himself onto the game. It's what he did today. It's what he did today. He was like, right, I haven't been getting the service. Obviously, Conte's had a word with him, and he's just added that to it. He's just incredible. He's just immense.
Yeah, and and days like today, you're thankful to have him. Do you think there was a massive difference today in terms of performance level in the first half to the second half? Or did you just think, in the second half we got the chances and the goals, and first half we weren't really able to do that?
So in the first half, I think Newcastle tried to do what low block teams did to us and just try and shut us down. And I think us getting that equaliser changed everything. And then obviously Conte had a word in the second half. And then it went to pot. Do you know what? The commentators over here, because we don't have the same commentators as you, even said after the fourth goal, in the second half, we had 4 shots, 4 on target, 4 goals.
Clinical.
That is lethal. That is lethal. That is clinical. And you don't get that every single game. But it was a joy to see that second half. And it just goes to show, I was really, really concerned when I saw the wing backs at the start, but they were heavily involved in everything. And the defence was Romero, Bentancur, and Kulusevski. My God, 3 inspirational signings, absolutely incredible. And you know what, Alan Shearer? So on our stream, we had in the studios, we had Shearer and Ferdinand, and Shearer was saying right now that front 3 of Kulusevski, Kane, and Son is right up there with the best in Europe. Like, you do not want to play against them.
Yeah, and Kulusevski has 7 goal contributions now and 8 starts for Tottenham since signing in January. Has there ever been an attacking player that you can remember that we've signed and just hit the ground running as well as Kulusevski has, especially for at 21 years of age?
The only one that comes to mind would be Rafael van der Vaart.
Yeah,
there's one more I'd mention, and that'd be Berbatov. And then obviously
even Berbatov took a bit of time.
Kulusevski's 21 though.
Okay, so even
21,
even further back, Klinsmann. But like Henry just said, at this age, to come in and set the ground running like he has been absolutely outstanding. Absolutely,
he's had better seasons than Grealish, Sancho, all these players that have had big moves.
He's only been in 8 games.
And no one's really talking about Kulusevski. And I think the more and more we go into a Conte system, I think he will pull him toward... If we don't get a playmaker in the summer, I think he will pull him to a number 10 role. Because he's left foot, right foot. He's so good at making those diagonal runs. He's so good as soon as he cuts in on the left, it just reminds you of the Iron Robin, the Mahrez, the Messi. Well, I'm not saying he's as good as those, but he just, in natural instinct, is cutting on the left and hit it, or cutting the left and put across to the back post. It's a different dimension of football that we can play. We've been so reliant on Kane and Son throughout the last 3 or 4 seasons. Now to add someone else, I know Bale come in, but he didn't really feature till February. Now we've actually got a front 3 that you can build through. Kulusevski's 21, Harry Kane and Son are pushing late 20s, early 30s, or coming up to 30. But it's just breath of fresh air, isn't it? You can't complain. Everyone's firing on all cylinders. Brian, what did you make of? Well, first things first. Someone mentioned on the last, I think it was you said, Doherty, Davis, and Royale. Do you know what the odds on all 3 of those to score was?
What?
1,850 to 1. Davis, Romero, Davis, Royale, and Doherty to score.
Next game, I'm putting it on.
Because we were here with me and Brian were here when Doherty and who was it? Who got the other goal? Yeah, Sessegnon. It was Sessegnon. It was like Sessegnon to set up a Doherty goal, and we were like, what would the odds be? But now we've even gone one further.
It was. I mean, just getting back to you on the Kulusevski thing very, very quickly. I was one of them for the first few games. Everyone was saying, he's not very fast, he's not very quick. But we were saying his footballing brain is streets ahead of everyone, and it's just going to show it. It's going to show it. And when it comes to the fullbacks, you know what? I'm really, really happy for Matt Doherty. I'm really, really happy for Matt Doherty because we all know he's had some bad performances, but his commitment to running to get into the space for that 3rd goal and another incredible pass from Kane was fantastic. And I have to say, Royale looked like he had a shepherd's pie on his head rather than his blonde. It really did. I was like, what the hell? But you know what? He got his goal, and I know he's in the building, and I know he's in the chat. And Cody Mack, I told him, don't make bets on social media or YouTube because he put on a bet before the game saying if Emerson Royale scores, I'm ordering an Emerson Royale shirt. And what are the chances? So that will be in the post to him soon.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. And Brian, look, we're above Arsenal now. Going into tomorrow's game against Crystal Palace, they play them. How much pressure do you think is on Arsenal now to get a result tomorrow? And look, and based on how both teams are playing at the moment, who are you backing?
So do you know what? It's not even about the result with Arsenal now. If we just got a 2-1 or whatever, we'd be 11 on points with them. But they've got to be allowed our goal difference, because we have started racking up the goals. And that's like an extra point, really, isn't it? So if it becomes a draw at the end of the season, we'll go through a goal difference if it was the end of the season as it stands. So these goals that we're clocking up are so invaluable, or so valuable, should I say. They could be put, because now what, are we 3 ahead of them now, or 2 ahead of them?
Yeah.
So they're going to have to win by 2 clear goals like we did. And we, like Henry said, we scored 13 goals in our last 3 home games. As you know, I was saying that I don't think we're going to make top 4. Well, with a result like that, I'm going for top 4 now. I am saying we can get top 4. I'm not going to get as excited of people saying top 3 and getting Chelsea into it. Let's just try and get 4th. And you know what? This just goes to show what this man is doing. If you give Conte what he wants and you give it to him when he wants it, top 4 isn't a target, it's a guarantee. It's a guarantee. This is what he does. So let's just hope that happens. But it's just a wonderful day to roll up the weekend with Brentford thrashing them. Let's hope Vieira
Eric's on the score sheet as well.
Exactly. Let's just hope the rabbit they can pull a rabbit out of the hat, because right now top 4.
I think they will, Brian. I think Palace will beat them, and I'm not just saying that to be clickbaited up or to be click. I actually honestly think Palace will. The way they played them off the park at the Emirates, I know they're going to be missing Olise and Zaha, and I might be overthinking it or overlooking it, but I definitely think Palace will get a draw. I don't think Arsenal will steamroll. If they do steamroll them, fair enough, because you've got to put a performance in.
They don't have to steamroll. They can just scrape it 1-0. You never know.
It's not only that. Palace on a night game, Selhurst Park, the fans will be rocking, the fans will be loving it, and how great would it be for them to lose or something to happen, because we are 2 goals clear, level on points. So if they was to get even a draw, it would be massive for us. Like I said, they've still got the tougher games, and they've still got to come to our place. So I'm with Brian. I think we will get top 4.
Well, you know what it is, Henry. You know what it is as well, mate. Beforehand, their game. You got to look at it now. Their games in hand on us are Palace and Chelsea, which aren't 2 teams you'd want as a game in hand for a London derbies. Chelsea have now been pulled. There's talk of them falling off for the top 3, so it's not like they could just sit there and just play for a draw or anything. Their place could come seriously into jeopardy if there's a couple more bad results from them, and they could get roped in. So Chelsea will be going at it full throttle, and Palace will as well tomorrow. Like you said, evening games at Selhurst Park, their fans are incredible. So it's incredible. So it's now. It's turning. This is going to go on and on. It's all going to come down to the. It's all going to come around to the derby against the Filth, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if that is the last game of the season, if it is, that is the biggest North London derby in the Premier League that we've ever seen. To go down all the way down to the wire, can you imagine that game will be the atmosphere in that stadium, and it will be someone like Harry Kane that will just steal the show in the North London derby. It's just written.
Yep. I mean, it's at home, and at the new stadium, we've beaten them every single time, if you also include that mind game at the beginning of the season. Also, this time, it's going to be the first North London derby in front of 62,500 Spurs fans, or let's say whatever after the Filth bring minus that. That atmosphere in that stadium is going to be rocking. It's going to be rocking like that stadium's never rocked before. And I think it's incredible, and I really believe it's now in our hands.
Yeah, it's looking good at the moment, absolutely. Brian, fantastic man. Good to see you as always. And
pleasure, boys.
Always good to have you on, my friend. And we'll speak to you very, very soon.
You certainly will, brother. And I'm not going to say it today. The only 2 words I'm going to say is back Conte. See you later.
Nice one.
Take care, Brian.
See you, Brian. Always good to have him on. And the next guest was so close to having his score usually spot on. The last gasp Bergwijn goal stopping it. But let's bring him on. Bob Spur TV. Absolutely fantastic stuff. How are we doing, Bob? Great to see you, mate. Are you mute? You're mute.
You're mute, Bob.
Why change your habit
There
of a
we go.
lifetime?
Absolutely fantastic, man. What a performance.
Absolutely brilliant. I've been saying all week, haven't I? It's we should be beating Newcastle. They're an average team. I've had a few good results against average sides, but never in doubt. Never in doubt. I'm happy. We won 5-1. I know I said 4-1, but Bergwijn scoring, man. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, you'll take that. And talking about Bergwijn, obviously, he went away on international duty. He scored 3 goals in 2 games. There's been a lot of talk about whether people would let him leave in the summer or not. But look, he came on today, made an impact, scored 1, could have got another, which was a volley just over the bar. He looked confident, didn't he? Do you think maybe he's ready to make an impact from now to the end of the season?
I think that's the key thing, Sim. He looked confident. There's been performances and appearances in the past where he's looked a bit tentative and second guessed himself. And I think Conte was made a point of saying he needs to believe in himself. And I don't think he'd take that volley shot just after he scored.
That'd have been some goal as well.
Oh yeah. But I don't think he takes that shot, Henry, if Conte hadn't put that little seed.
Oh yeah, 100%. Conte deserves a massive amount of credit, not just with him, with Doherty as well. He's kind of turned his career around. But Bergwijn, I've said this to Sim and I've said this to Brian and Rossin before. If Bergwijn does start, Bob, where do you think he plays? Because Kulu's obviously playing very well in the right wing spot. Son's not going to come off. Son could be terrible for 80 minutes, and that 10 minutes he could be unbelievable. So do you change formation? I can't really see Conte doing that, or does he play as a wing back? Where would you play him?
We need to start thinking bigger, though, don't we? There's a lot of thing about, who do we drop because of Bergwijn? No, we need a squad. Bergwijn needs to be
Liverpool do with Diaz, Firmino,
exactly,
Salah, Mane.
Just because we keep a quality player or want a quality player doesn't mean he's an automatic starting 11. We need to start building a squad. We need to start thinking like Conte. We need to integrate into his mindset. Bergwijn, we would be a weaker squad without a Bergwijn. We'd have a weaker squad without a Bergwijn, because we know wherever he goes, if he leaves us, he's going to smash it out the park, be it in Ajax or wherever he goes. We know for a fact it will be a success. So we need a Bergwijn. Now, the issue we're going to have is it's World Cup year, so he's going to want minutes. He's going to want reassurances. But if we're in Europe, when we qualify for the Champions League, we're going to need a Bergwijn. And with Conte, you can't have a better manager than Conte overlooking your progression in your career. So, he's a quality player, and like I say, we need him in a squad. With the number of games we're going to have next season, of course, Sonny and Decky will need a rest, and then to bring in a player of Bergwijn's quality with confidence, I think will be absolutely brilliant.
Well, Bob, we were talking about the wing backs yesterday on In the Wall. Everyone was saying, you asked everyone on the panel, and everyone said anyone but Emerson, pretty much, on the panel. Well, look, he started today on the right-hand side. He's got a goal to made it 4-1. What's your reaction to Emerson's performance today?
Listen, I don't want to put a downer, but he wasn't great defensively. He was getting
what a
turned
finish,
inside
though.
out.
What a
finish. It was great, and it would have been a penalty.
It wasn't.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been a penalty, I reckon. But he every time he had the ball, and when we were attacking with a bit of intent, as soon as it went to Emerson, I was like, I was going to fuck it up now. And most of the time he did. But you know what? He's got that spirit about him, hasn't he? He tries. He's a trier. Aurier was a trier at times, but there's at least he gave it his all. Quality-wise, he's just not there, and we know that. We don't want to put a dampener on such a fantastic result, fantastic performance, but Emerson just doesn't seem to have that quality. But big up on him, he kissed the badge and he pumped his chest as he got substituted, and that's good showing for that. But he couldn't handle Maximin today. Not many.
He is
not
a good
many
player.
defenders can.
Saint-Maximin is one of the best dribblers in
Yeah.
the Premier League. Would you so say we've got the wing backs are going to be an area we're going to strengthen potentially. Well, everyone's saying we should, and the manager said as well. Do you speaking of Dyer and Romero, how good do you think they are as a two in a back three? Because our win percentage when Dyer's been in the team next to Romero is right up there. When they play as two of the back three, and when Dyer kind of isn't in the team, you know, we kind of look much worse. And it's weird to say that because 3 or 4 years ago, we were all saying, oh, yeah, Dyer's a bit, you know, he's this and he's that. And now he looks to be knocking on a door for an England call-up, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, even last year, Henry, there was a lot of people, you know, we've got one of our friends who've nicknamed him Moon Boots. We can't do without Moon Boots right now. We're a weaker team, starting 11, without Eric Dyer. And this narrative, it seems fashionable though, doesn't it, to diss on Dyer. My lovely partner, she fucking hates him. But
you just heard her in the background go, "Oh, shut up."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but I personally think do we need to improve in quality when it comes to Dyer next season? Yeah, we do. We need to get another defender in, of course we do. But again, same with Bergwijn. We need a Dyer at the football club. He's got a fantastic relationship with Romero. Romero, I believe, is bringing out the best in Dyer, as is Conte. And if he can, he seems to have gone to the next level, just like many other players. So, but yeah,
it's kind of like when he was playing next to Toby. You know, Toby's last year, Dyer was when you're playing next to, it's like when Van Dijk and Gomez plays next to him, you automatically raise your game because you know you're playing next to a better player. But Romero, for me, he's just on a different level. I know people say he's rash at times, and you know he's hit and miss, but when he goes into his duels, 9 times out of 10 he's coming out of the ball, like on the actual ground duels, not in the air, but on the floor. He's right up there, isn't he?
I think I might have said it on WeAreTottenham. I was going on about Romero 2 months before we signed him. I knew of him. I said the best way I describe Romero, I go, we need to get Romero in because he's a dog. He's a proper dog. He doesn't let go. He sees the ball, he sees a player, and he'll just go for it. And when we got him, the connection between me and Kleenex was quite popular. That's how excited I was about getting Romero in. I've always loved him. I've followed him for about a year and a half now. Like I say, before we signed him, so he was the one player that I really wanted in. But have to admit, he's started so well to make a difference. 12 consecutive games now for us, and he makes a difference in every single game. Even when we've lost, there's always a tackle there. Richarlison challenge still sticks out like anything when he took him out completely. But he's done that. He was fantastic today against Maximum. He probably was a bit more solid against Maximum than what Emerson was. Well, he definitely was. But yeah, and I think he does give the confidence to a Dyer, to a Davis around him to know that at least we've got this dog-like warrior alongside us who's going to sort out any odd mistakes that we might have.
What did it say about the team for you today? You know, the way we reacted to going 1-0 down, considering how hard we had found it to break Newcastle down in that first half, and then to have those difficulties and then have the demoralising factor of going 1-0 down. You wouldn't have been surprised if, you know, we went into half-time 1-0 down and found it difficult to get back in the game second half, but we didn't do that. We hit them straight back, and we showed good mentality. So what does that say about the team for you?
I said to you yesterday, Tim, today was all about, not yesterday, Friday. Today was all about us. Even if we went 1-0 down, we would have won today. The way we're playing, the world-class players we've got playing, the world-class manager, we're not only winning, but we're winning well. We are thrashing teams. A few weeks ago, we were on minus. We're on plus 13, fourth best goal difference in the league now. There's no doubt we were going to win today. We were going to win well today, and we are going to finish top 4. It's about time the fan base got hold of that mentality. Expect it. Don't and ah it. We're going to win the next 4 games. We should win the next 4 games. We will win that. That's 6 wins in a row. we're going to do. There is no reason why we shouldn't. The way we're playing, the form that we're showing, the way we're winning, the players we've got on form. We're going to finish top 4. And
It's just
the
that
more we believe
Spursy
it,
mentality, though, isn't it? Everyone has that in the back of their head.
that bullshit needs to go now, Henry. We need to.
Yeah, but
we
we
ain't got.
need to carry on like we are, and it will go.
Yeah. Well, we've got a manager who doesn't believe in Spursy. We ain't got a manager who believes in St Tottering's. That's all history. That's all irrelevant right now because we have got a winner in. And like I say, as a fan base, we just need to integrate into that same mindset, the same winning mentality that is trying to seep into the club. Not only the players, not only the fans, the fucking board as well.
Yeah, well said, mate. I mean, everything you've pretty much said is factual. It's just when we've got arguably when Mourinho came in, he was a bit past his peak. This is the best manager I think we've had in his peak in probably in the Premier League era. I mean, Pochettino, when he came in, no one thought that he was going to obliterate the door off the hinges and we'd go all the way to Champions League final, we'd become runners up to the Premier League. But Conte's come in with that reputation of, I've just won a title in Italy. You know, I've won titles in Italy with 2 different teams. I've won the Premier League. He's come in and he's gone, right, you need to sort this out or I'm going. He said it from the very beginning, what he wants. And he's proven it by the results on the pitch. 3rd highest win rate in 2022. Most goals scored in 2022. Harry Kane has been on some sort of steroid in 2022. That's how well everything's going. We just needs to continue. No hiccups, no hit and misses. Go and get 3 points at Villa, then get 3 points at Brighton, and then just keep it going. But the most important thing is we have to win that North London derby. That is more important than anything.
I reckon we might be clear by then. If we're playing second from last, I reckon Arsenal have got 2 defeats. I keep on saying it. Arsenal got 2 defeats in them before we play them, and by then, if we're done, I still think we'll get a draw at Anfield. Yes, we always fuck it up in the last minute at Anfield, but with the high line that they play, with the players we've got in form, there's no reason why we can't get at least a draw. We can beat Man City away from home, man. We can do anything. So, but it's all about our mindset, positive energy, positive vibes. I'm probably living proof of what that can do. If we can do it, if we all get that same vibe, same mentality, this club's going places and we will finish 4th.
What a great way to end the call.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Big up to you, Bob, as well.
Always good to see you, man. Good to see you looking well
Big
as
up.
well. Fantastic stuff. Great to have you back on, man.
Big up the NHS.
Big up the
Yeah,
NHS.
big up the
100%.
NHS, man.
100%, man. We'll speak to you very soon, Bob. Big up to you, man.
Take care,
See
Bob,
you later,
mate.
mate. Big up, Henry.
Absolutely great call that was
What a man,
from
eh?
Bob. So
What a
what an
man.
absolute fan. What a great gentleman.
Go over and subscribe to Bob's Spur.
And go check out. I was on the wall yesterday on Bob Spur TV. So go check that out. It's a great chat. We're chatting all things on the weekend, and also we're talking about Qatar and all sorts. We're talking about everything. So go check it out. Let's bring on Michael next. How are we doing, Michael? You all right?
Yes, of course. How can you not be all right after this?
you exactly after you thought you were inheriting a club that always lets you down, but maybe you're starting to think differently now, Michael. What's your feelings at the moment with how we're playing?
Yeah, actually, thanks to Adam Cahill, I decided to whip out my own kit today. It's her debut on the show.
Oh, lovely.
But 30 seconds of negativity and then I will just smash it, I promise. But 30 seconds of negativity. First thing, I'm just a bit worried about Hugo. He often has that mistake in him, and it shows more often than it did. Of course, he's getting older. But it just reassures me in the feeling that we need to start slowly looking for a successor to him. And the second thing is, I actually think that Conte could have substituted players earlier because we got 4-1 and it was 60 something minutes, right? Why not take Sonny immediately off, or why not take Kulu immediately off? I was sitting here raging that Bergwijn should be on, especially after what happened during the international break. And that's it in terms of negativity.
Well, you got your wish, and he came on and scored within a minute.
Yeah. I was like getting livid here. I was running around the room. I was really happy for him because like I really like him as a player, as a person. He seems like a cool dude, and like if he is on form, then why not use him? He's really good. But okay, in terms of positivity, and I will like meme a bit. Get Paratici's name out of your fucking mouth right now. Seriously. Like, there has been a lot of, well, maybe not a lot of, but there has been some negativity towards Paratici and his dealings in summer and winter, in those 2 windows that he was here at the club. And I just don't get the argument of like saying that he didn't do a good job because he brought Royal in, but people ignore the fact that in the same window we got Romero in, and he absolutely pocketed Saint-Maximin today. Like he just took him by the neck, put him in his pocket, and he didn't leave for the whole match. Like even though Royal was getting constantly skinned by him, there was that security of Romero there, and actually I wasn't worried about our right side pretty much at all. But also saying that when we went 1-0 down, I was like, not this shit again. Like I actually thought that we are gonna lose 1-0 that game, in that fashion. But thankfully, we were just world class today. Like pretty much every player in our team was world class. And speaking of Paratici, then Bentancur and Kulusevski. My God, I just love these guys. Like seriously, I think if our club does everything well, we have a world class right winger for next decade. Like seriously, he's just perfect, Kulusevski. Like of course, there was one match during the international break that I didn't want him to do well in, and that was the qualifier between Poland and Sweden. Unfortunately, yeah, I got my wish. Unfortunately for him, of course. But ever since he came to that club, we aren't just a 2-man team right now in front. We are a 3-man team, and teams have to be worried about our right side, because when Lucas plays there, you just need to not get skinned by him, and that doesn't happen that often. Of course, Lucas has his moments of brilliance, but Kulusevski right now provides a deadly cross, a deadly shot, and he not necessarily dribbles through players, but he just runs past them, like he muscles them off. I don't know how to put it, but he's just so strong, and he has so much skill and fat in him that I'm really surprised by this kid. And same thing with Bentancur, like the stability that him and Højbjerg provide in the middle of the park is just wonderful for me. I was just really impressed by this game because like before the kickoff, I thought that we are gonna struggle in this game, and it's gonna be a scrape of 2-1 win, maybe barely winning, and we just absolutely demolished them. Like seriously, like I don't want to get too excited, because you know what happens when you get too excited and you support Spurs, you get knocked right down. But I just can't not get excited right now, because how can you not be excited? Seriously, I'm repeating myself, but
yeah, I mean, look, we are winning at the moment, and winning well in a lot of games. I think we've won 6 of our past 8 Premier League games. I think all of them, barring City, have been by over 2 goals as well.
City and Brighton, yeah.
By 2 or more goals. So, like, yeah, we finally starting to see this consistency coming into this team now.
But just it's not just consistency, because Arsenal are also consistent, right? They won like what 4 out of last 5 or 5 out of 6, something like this. But they are barely winning. Like, of course,
they're scraping results. We're obliterating
3
teams.
3 points, you cannot deny that. But when you put 5 past Newcastle, 5 past Everton, 4 past Leeds, we are just scoring goals for fun. It's just ridiculous. Like, I'm just watching this team, and whenever we are in attack, suddenly we are just really dangerous. Because keep in mind that in the first half of the season, well, maybe not the whole half, not 19 matches, but 10 or 15 matches, we couldn't get like a shot on target, or we couldn't like create chances. We couldn't score more than one goal, and suddenly right now, pretty much those same players are devastating. Like I'm just shocked. Like I'm in awe right now, and that's really positive.
Now that and is that all down to Antonio Conte and the way he has managed this squad and this team to put us in a position right now where we're very much in this fight for top 4.
Yeah, I think that in terms of top 4, we just have to focus on our matches. Like, do not look what Arsenal are doing. Do not look what United are doing. Just focus on the next match. Win against Villa, great. Then win against Brighton, great. And we just have to slowly build and move on. And because we are in this situation that, of course, I don't want this to happen, touch wood, but we can win all 9 games and Arsenal can win all 10 and we still won't get top 4. Of course, that's not going to happen, but we just have to focus on us. And I just feel like finally, after those 4 or 5 months, the stability came to this team, because this team now knows what each and every one of them has to do on that pitch to achieve success. I just feel like this 3-4-3 system got ingrained into their minds, and I feel like our team just starts flowing like a well-oiled machine. We are just efficient. We are just we are just efficient, I think, and that's the main thing. And one thing also that I really like, and I spoke with you, Sim, and with Ben about it, that we are starting to show some character. I just love those. I just love those situations when a team just surrounds a player that got fouled, surrounds a referee that didn't give a decision our way. You have to show the spirit, the character, and it's starting to happen more. And I just seriously, I really love. I love watching this team right now, and that's something new, because like a year ago, I didn't like half of that team personally. I mean, as players, I didn't really like watching Aurier. I didn't really like watching Sissoko. I know that some of those players brought great memories, even to me as a relatively new fan. But still, I just didn't like them as characters. And right now, I don't know. I'm just might want to turn gay or something, but I'm just starting to love them all, and it brings me joy to watch this team, and I cannot wait for the next match. And I'm just excited again. I said it.
Absolutely fantastic.
Bit of positivity around the football club. It's been
Yeah,
a bit
yo-yo,
hasn't
that's
it?
really new. That's really new.
Win, lose, win, lose, and now we're in a bit of a run now, aren't we?
Even 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, we were really negative, going like, oh, for fuck's sake, we lost to Burnley again. Oh, we lost to Middlesbrough again. Oh, we lost to Wolves. We lost to Southampton, and everyone was getting down, and this, shit started flying around, and we were saying, oh, this player is too bad. This player is too bad. Paratici is worse. Oh, Conte is probably not the right man for us. This formation is too bad, and right now. I really, after this performance, I cannot find a bad thing about it, except the 2 things that I mentioned. But those are really like minuscule things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, right? But I'm just really excited, and I'm hopeful for this season actually, and I'm really hopeful for the summer too, because with the way we are playing right now, I don't think that we need to like spend 250 million pounds to make this team compete for top 4 next season. We just need a couple of players in key positions, and I feel like this team will work perfectly, especially because we have Conte there.
All right, Michael, absolutely brilliant call. Great to see you as always. Lovely to see some positivity around, and let's hope we keep this momentum going. It's with us now, and let's take it forward to the end of the season. Good to see you, Michael.
Thanks for coming on, Michael.
Yes, back Conte.
Man. Come on, back Conte, exactly. Big up to you. And just quickly read out the super chat from Henry Wright TV. Big up to you, Henry. He says, smash the like button, people. Subscribe to the channel. Also, big up to everyone who subscribed to my channel, which is Henry's channel. Finally, a bit of positive energy. And everyone go over, click. His name is in the title. Go over to subscribe to Henry if you haven't already. He's got great Spurs content, and his channel's growing. So go over and show him some love and subscribe to his channel. All right, next up, Adam Bergvine Cahill. Let's get him on. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Yes, Adam. Come on, man. Good to see you, mate.
Too.
Yeah, always good to see you, man. Yeah, always. I'm still recovering from last week, just about. I'm going all right. But yeah, look, it was great to meet you last week in person for the first time.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic, man. I genuinely, I never thought that it would be in Ireland, but it was great. It was fantastic. You and Ben, it was such a good time. I mean, it was obviously we were robbed by daylight savings time, but
by an hour, yeah, they took
great.
it from us, the bastards.
They stole an hour.
An hour was drinking time. But look, Adam, there was a game of football today, and what a game of football it was. You know that. Coming back from 1-0 down to score 5 like we did. What do you think that says about the team for you?
It says we're smashing teams. I mean, like this is it's not like I have a kind of library in my head of how well other teams are doing. But I mean, when you're comparing us to, what the other teams are doing with respect to how dominant we are against other teams, it's even Liverpool and Man City, they're not putting in like 5 goals, 4 goals. It's fair. We're like, there's nobody outdoing us in that perspective at the moment. And that obviously comes down to Conte, number 1. And then the excuse me, the transfer window, the fact that we got Kulu and the fact that we got Bentancur coming in. They've made the world of a difference. And the one thing, like, if I can just say one thing that's like the kind of the thesis of my entire time that I'm on here with you today is strength in depth. Finally, we bloody have it. Do you know what I mean? Because to see, like, okay, I'm still not the biggest Winks fan, but he did have one shot that was like, if that had gone in, it would have been like flip. It would have been just like outrageous that we had such
the icing on top of the cake sort of thing.
It would have, because I mean, think about it. Like we had we also had Mora and Bergwijn coming on, and for Bergwijn to score with his first bloody touch, and for Mora to have set him up. And Mora was just like, I feel like, he needs to work on his last touch, but the motor on that guy, he's just tearing it past everybody. And there's still no way that we're past Mora. Mora is still an essential cog in the Spurs machine. So we finally seem to be able to look at our bench and go, do you know what, if we bring those guys on, it could make a significant difference. And then with next season, you're talking about like we've got 5 substitutions possible. We actually have a team that if we build on it during the summer, we can actually rival a Liverpool and a Man City who are able to just bring on players off the bench who are just as good as the ones who are, are coming off. So that to me is like, that is fundamental. Conte has said it before, you need to have 2 players in every position, and we're building towards that. But what we've got at the moment is a team that when you do bring players off the bench, they're able to do what we did today, which is, continue to smash the team, the opposition. So that's so exciting. So exciting.
Yeah, definitely. And, what was your reaction? Obviously, there was a lot of talk pre-game about Reguilon missing. We came up with a solution. We had Emerson start right wing back. We had Doherty start left wing back today. How did you feel they got on today in their respective positions?
Yeah, look, I watched the match in my local around the corner with my dad, and as we were walking around, the lineup dropped on my phone, and I was like, so it's exactly as you'd expect, except we've got Emerson playing because the 2 boys on the left are both injured, and he was like, yeah, he's going to be our weak link. And to be fair, he was. Now, I know he scored a goal, but he definitely was still the weakest player on the pitch, and I don't blame him at all. He was bought under a Nuno system. The guy is actually a solid defender. He's useless attacking, though, and that's the position that he's playing in. So fair play to him. I think he was kind of fortunate with his goal, but I pat him on the back. Well done, great stuff. Glad you got stuck in. Awesome. He did a job, and that's fine. But I don't see him, being in the future squad for Spurs. I really don't. He doesn't fit Conte's system. And so, like, it was, we're a little bit weaker than that.
In our wing backs, the attacking threat is a lot more important than the defensive-minded play.
Yeah.
So we are the wing backs predominantly are our playmakers, apart from Kane. A lot of the play goes through Reguilon, Sessegnon, Doherty, or Emerson Royale, and it's good to see now that we are. I've said this a lot tonight, but we are firing in all cylinders. We're not just reliant on Harry Kane and Son's goals. The fact that Davis, Doherty, and Emerson Royale all on the score sheet today is just. Yeah, it's ridiculous. 1,850 to 1. That the chance of that was happening, and it happened. And we've put 13 goals in our last 3 home games: 5 against Everton, 5 against Newcastle, 3 against West Ham. And now Conte's method of playing his style, the process that what he's trying to put through to the players, actually seems like it's coming off. Because it was only 3 or 4 weeks ago. We lost back-to-back games, Southampton and Wolves, and we were all like, oh, right, well, that's top 4 done. Fast forward 4 weeks later, and we're right back in the mixings. That's how quickly it can all change. But credit to Conte and credit to the players, because everyone today, bar, if I'm being critical, bar Lloris and maybe Royale, everyone was very, very good. What did you make of Harry Kane?
Well, I think overall the system is sinking in, and I think that Harry is being utilized to his out. Like Harry, I feel like he's a little bit deeper than Son and Decky. So he's in that position where it's like he's able to score, which he didn't do today, but he's able to score and he's able to set up the play as well. He's floating in between the lines. He's not quite playing as a full center forward. He's not playing as a midfielder. He's somewhere in between, and absolutely all of his juices are being milked, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? Because he's such an incredible passer of the ball, and he's such an incredible scorer. So it's finally he's being utilized in such a way where he's giving all that he can give, and that's tremendous. There was even he took one shot earlier this afternoon, and I was like, okay, if we weren't several goals up at that stage, then it was a bit wasteful. But the fact that we were several goals up and he's Harry Kane, it's like, yeah, go on, give it a go, whatever. And
it's
it was
like,
slightly
you kind of turn a blind eye to it, don't you? It's like the game's already done. Even Bergwijn's chance, he scored his first goal, and then afterwards he tried a volley, like a prime Alan Shearer Rooney volley. Just comes over his left shoulder, and he tried. I tell you now, if that would have gone in, that would have been, one of the goals of the season. That would have been an unbelievable hit.
If that had gone in, man, Son is my favorite player of all time, and if that had gone in, Son would have had his run for his money in terms of starting next week. Do you know what I mean? Against Villa, because if that had gone in, it is like Bergwijn. He's coming off the back of an international competition where he scored 3 goals in 2 games, absolutely playing his socks off, and that's the reason why I've changed my name this time, by the way, because like Bergwijn for me, it's like, dude, please understand how invaluable and how incredible you are. Because as long as he plays with that confidence, can you imagine what he could go on to become? Like, and if he had hit that volley and it had gone in, I'd have been like, dude, just like, you deserve all the awards. I don't care. Like every single award that's available, they just throw them at him, because he's just it would have been a superstar performance. And I mean, he still did it unbelievably well. His first touch was, like the first time he received the ball, he put it in the back of the net. The guy is just on fire right now. If he leaves in the summer, I'd be devastated, because the man is an absolute legend. He's incredible. But everybody on the pitch today, gave a serious performance. Sonny was the one, in fairness to him, responsible for us conceding, because he gave away a free kick in an area where it was completely ridiculous. And then, fair play to the Newcastle guys. They strategized very well in terms of the way they set up the kind of the holes in the wall. They got out of the way, the ball leaked through. Fair play to them. But in terms of actual, that was a set piece, and we know how bad we are at set pieces, and that's still something we've got to work on. But outside of that, Son got his goal, he got his assist, and everybody else as well really playing their part. It was an incredible performance, and I'm very, very happy to say that I have got another chance, thank God, to be able to go over and watch a match in the stadium. I've got a ticket for the Brighton game.
Fantastic.
Please God, now in 2 weeks I'll be there, and we'll see another absolute thrashing. And you know, after on the back of a performance like that, how could I not be as excited as I, you know, it, like I'm, you know, I'm going to our stadium, watching us play a Brighton team who we've beaten twice already this season. I'm just like, I could not be more excited. Like, and just to, you know, again, add even more to that, it's like people writing us out of the, you know, top four. That is so bloody on, baby. That is so on. It's ridiculous. You know, like we're destroying teams. Yes, if Arsenal keep winning, it doesn't matter whether they're only doing it by a goal or not. 3 points or 3 points. But when they come to us, man, I hope that we give them the biggest battering that we've ever given anybody. I hope that's a 10-0, like just absolutely hockey them off the pitch. Then nothing would make me happier than to absolutely send them home bleeding.
Yeah, and you think that's it? You think the momentum is with us now going to the final stretch? Do you believe that this is going to be our time?
I think Bob Spur had it on the money. I think there's no reason to not believe that we can't absolutely demolish the next 4 teams in front of us. Liverpool is going to be the hardest game for sure. Of course it is. But can you imagine the confidence we'll go into that with if we do win the 4 subsequent games? If we so far, you know, our run has been incredible, and then if we win the next 4 games and then we're going to Anfield, it's like we couldn't be in a better position, you know, to be going and at least taking a point, you know. But we're going to be, you know, if the players are confident enough, they will go in thinking, no, look, we're going to try. Anfield is a fortress, but we're going to win and we're going to siege this bloody place like nobody has ever done before. So I like it's one of the more exciting run-ins to the end of a season that we've ever had. It really is.
Do you think it will go all the way down to the North London derby game?
I think so, especially considering, you know, I think that when they're planning on having it. But yeah, I think that game must be at this stage the most exciting game of the season, because as bad as Chelsea are playing at the moment, you know, they've gone through hard times with the Roman Abramovich stuff, and it may affect them in a big way. I still think that they're going to end up in 3rd place. So considering that, it seems, you know, well, I mean, obviously the Liverpool-Man City situation, that's still, you know, the number 1 spot is going to be have the biggest spotlight on it. But after that, the Arsenal Spurs, I mean, and you got to remember, like, at the end of the day, like, Man City Liverpool is exciting, but the fact that the fact that Spurs Arsenal is a derby, you know, like it's 2 London teams scraping it out for 4th spot. That's going to be, you know, that's headline stuff, you know. That's going to be the making of the end of this season. It really is.
I completely agree, and the fact that Liverpool have got to play City twice in the next 2 weeks, once in the FA Cup and in the league, so kind of like this is a one-off game. This North London derby, I think, for a neutral fan, is one of the best fixtures in the world, or in the league at least. But the fact that it's going down to where both teams are fighting for the same goal, and it's going in front of 62.5 or whatever they bring, let's say on average 60,000 for the first time in our stadium. I mean, that game is going to be, the atmosphere in that ground is genuinely going to be obscene. Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Can you imagine if we have Reguilón back and we have Bentancur and Skip playing in the center of the pitch at that stage? And it's something that we're all excited to see how, you know, the 2 of them together could fit like a glove. There are times, like, obviously, like for me, Højbjerg is hit and miss. I love the guy. I don't want to lose him or anything, but I think Skip and Bentancur is going to be the best midfield partnership once we get a chance to actually see it in action. And if we can see that for the Liverpool game, if we can see that for the Arsenal game, and just be an absolute wall in the midfield and just absolutely run amok over them, I'd love to just it be a locomotive and just steamroll over those assholes.
Brilliant. Adam, great to see you, mate, and looking forward to see you when you're over here for the Brighton game. Not too long now. What, a couple of weeks?
2 weeks, yeah. Two weeks. Absolutely, yeah. 2 weeks from, I think it's 2 weeks from today, as far as I know. So, I can't wait. And definitely I'll be in touch, of course, man. And if we can meet up again for maybe a drink beforehand or the day before.
100%. You bet, Adam. 100%. Looking forward to it, man. Good to have you on as always, mate.
Thanks very much, Adam.
The one person that's probably stayed positive throughout this whole mess and now is reaping the benefits. Nice one, man.
Absolutely.
Good to see you. Come on. Love it. Absolutely love the positivity today. Let's get Asan on. I hope I pronounced that right. Asan, how are we doing today? Sorry, I think you're on mute, mate. 1 sec. No, I can't hear you.
Can't hear you at all.
Oh, I heard something.
Good now?
Yeah, I heard you.
Good now,
All
yeah.
good, mate.
I just had to change my thing. Okay, yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, can't really say much too bad about that performance. I think in the first half it was a bit sketchy. I wasn't really sure how it was going to pan out after the 1-1. Was it going to just be another low block sort of travesty that we've seen against likes of Burnley, Middlesbrough, and all those teams? But the way we just sort of tore them apart in the second half was amazing to watch. So yeah, really happy.
First half, obviously, Son made a mistake and brought down. Was it Joe Willock? And then they scored their free kick. And you're like, do you know what? Fair play. Being critical or being just openly minded, do you think Hugo Lloris could have done better, or do you think it was just travelling through bodies at pace? Because I think the thing is he gets a strong hand to it. It's not like he doesn't just touch it and it rolls in. He gets a strong enough hand to put it out for a corner, but unfortunately it goes in.
He went the wrong way at the start. He sort of had a little shuffle to the right before moving to the left, so maybe he thought he was going top corner on that side. It's difficult to say when you're not a goalkeeper and you haven't done any of that stuff, to simply say, oh, was it his fault or not. But the fact that he did get a strong hand to it, I think you got to give him some credit. It was a well taken free kick. You can't really say much else. But again, set pieces being our downfall. So obviously would have loved the clean sheet, but at the end of the day, it was a good free kick, and sometimes you got to take on the chin and move on.
Yeah. I mean, go on.
No, go on.
No, I was just going to say, and then we responded really well. We come back with a goal 3 or 4 minutes later. And under Conte, I think we've shown so much character when it comes to coming from behind. We went straight behind Man United twice and come back, and we've done the same thing today. We come straight back. And then the second half, we were just... Everyone was very, very good. But I know we've spoken a lot about Harry Kane today, but Kulusevski and Bentancur, since they've come into the team, how well do you think they've done?
Honestly, and this might be a bit of a bold claim, but that front three, Son, Kane, and Kulusevski, bar Liverpool and Man City, I'd have to say it's probably the best front three behind those two. I think Chelsea are struggling with proper front three to find whether Lukaku's not working or Werner's not working. And then United, again, if Ronaldo is not scoring, who else is scoring? So apart from Liverpool and City, I would think we'd fall in behind them for having one of the best front threes.
I think you're spot on there. I think that's a good shout.
I think Kulusevski just fit in really nice. I think he takes a little strain off Kane and Son trying to assist each other, because now he's helping with the assists as well. I mean, for the third goal, a great cross in, and Bentancur as well. I think once Skip comes back, I think Bentancur and Skip, whilst it might be a bit harsh on Højbjerg to take him out because he's been okay, but I think having Bentancur and Skip would probably be the most ideal. And Bentancur just, he just solidified that midfield.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's kind of in the camp of bring Skip straight in, but I'm kind of like, well, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Højbjerg's got the highest tackle percentage in the league besides Souček. So, and he's everywhere. I know, I think he's better going forward than Skip is. I think Skip's the ultimate sweeper. He can just slide in, grab the ball, and come back out, and then he starts the attack. But if you're looking at when Højbjerg plays box to box DM for Denmark, that he has a lot more to his game. He was their second highest assister in the Euros, and he played really well there. And I think he's getting a relationship now with Bentancur, where it's kind of like they're in a run of games together where we're winning. If we bring Skip straight in, it's kind of like, well, they've never played together, have they? Skip hasn't played a game. Was it 6 weeks now without a game, something like that?
That's the only issue. Yeah. That's the only issue, especially he's scheduled or speculated to come back mid-April, and then you think probably maybe 5 or 6 games from then, like you said, chucking him in. Would he have that partnership with Bentancur? Would the midfield then not work as well as it is right now? On Højbjerg, I think Adam was mentioning it before. He is sometimes hit and miss. I think, against Brighton, against West Ham, I think he was excellent. Today, I don't think he was bad by any means. I think he didn't do anything wrong. but like his passing, I didn't see much. Maybe I just wasn't looking properly. And I think people do push Skip's passing a bit back, because I've seen some, like, he has this nice sort of curved through ball that he plays sometimes, which I think Conte's really helped him work on. But I think, like you said, if it's not broken, why try and fix it? I think for the moment it would be kind of unfair to Højbjerg to just chuck Skip back in without having any fault really.
Tell me about the resurgence of Matt Doherty. Another brilliant performance today, an unfamiliar position, a left wing back, a goal and an assist. What do you have to say about him?
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny with Doherty. I mean, I think people always touch up on this, but when he came in, he was playing under Mourinho, so he wasn't using that right wing back role anyway. Then, Nuno, and you're thinking, okay, I can play right wing back, but then Nuno decided to go forward the back. So then again, he wasn't playing right wing back. And then under Conte, right wing back, I was watching Conte's interview he did with the club, and he was talking on Matt Doherty, how he struggled early on to understand sort of Conte's philosophy and how he wants to play football. But I think now that he's, had a couple run of games and he's sort of linked with the team, I think, he's scoring, assisting, and yeah, I mean, he's playing his proper role. And yes, he's on the left, but he still did great. And if Reguilon can come back and start going full speed, and then we have Matt Doherty doing well on the right, I think finally Conte's system can go into full flow.
I mean, just quickly, completely switching it up. According to George Bannister, who's quite a reliable source at times, Tottenham have agreed to sign Sam Johnson on a pre-contract agreement from West Brom. Hassan, what do you make of that? So we've signed it. We've signed Sam Johnson, the West Brom goalkeeper. I mean, it does make sense. Hugo's going to be 36 soon. Galini is clearly now going back to Atalanta.
Yeah, well, we need a goalkeeper replacement. Obviously, I haven't watched a lot of West Brom, so I'm not too familiar on his sort of qualities and what he's good at, what he's not.
It's a bit underwhelming. Do you not think? I mean, if we're going for the Champions League, we're going to have potentially, well, this is always rumoured, but to have a goalkeeper that's sitting 12th in the Championship and they've completely falling out of the play.
How many games is he going to play?
Yeah, but if he's coming in, he will be the number one in the year.
No, I disagree.
Yeah,
because Lloris's contract will be done in a year's time.
Another. Exactly. Well, we're going to have no number two.
No, but he's gonna come in and want to be the main man.
Yeah, want to doesn't mean he will be.
But I don't think we're going to go on and then sign another goalkeeper on top of that. We've already.
Of course we will. Of course we will. If we're getting him on a free and we're sending Galini, once Lloris leaves, we'll of course sign another keeper.
So I think there's other goalkeepers in the Premier League now that are better than Sam Johnston.
I mean, Dean Henderson's one.
Dean Henderson, Nick Pope. Nick Pope.
Yeah, but how many are ready? How many are willing to come to us right now?
Nick Pope's a better goalkeeper than Lloris. I stand by that. He plays in a team literally that have no quality, and he's had more clean sheets in recent years than Lloris, and he plays for Burnley. And the likelihood is they're going to go down. So why are we going to get Sam Johnson anyway?
He's just free.
Well,
and he'll be our number two.
I just think if we're getting a goalkeeper, because Hugo's got 2 more years on his contract. If we get a successor to him in now, Hugo's obviously deteriorated slowly over the years, but he was, he still is and was a great goalkeeper. And if he can give some tips, and sort of be that other goalkeeper can shadow him for a while, I think it'd be really beneficial. And then when Hugo does eventually move on, then we can get a number two in who's maybe less quality, maybe cheaper. But I think we have more pressing matters than goalkeepers at the moment.
100%. I just see it pop up on my phone. I thought just a bit news.
It's just it's an odd one, but
I mean, Dark Sun G is right. He says Johnson is homegrown, so as a free, it's not bad. Helps the homegrown
it's underwhelming,
quota.
Isn't it?
I mean, what do you expect? Do you expect us to sign Dean Henderson in the summer?
Why not?
Because we have Lloris.
Yeah, but Lloris, it shouldn't be. You shouldn't have a 36-year-old goalkeeper as your number one in the Champions League. The only other two teams that come to mind that have that are Bayern Munich and Inter Milan with Handanovic and Neuer. Everyone else.
And are they bad?
No, I'm not saying they're bad goalkeepers, but if we're trying to build champagne football and we've got every other player is kind of on form, and then we've got a goalkeeper who's going to be 36.
He's not a captain.
Yeah, but I don't agree with that. For me, a goalkeeper should never be captain.
Yeah, but he is.
Well, we'll agree to disagree.
I think I don't see the big problem. But look, Hassan, we're now above Arsenal in the table. Do you think the momentum is with us? What's your opinion?
I mean, of course, yeah. I mean, 3 wins in a row. I think it was mentioned before, 13 goals we scored in home games. I think, it was 5-0 against Everton and then 3-1 West Ham and, the 5-1 today. So we've only conceded 2 as well. And, yeah, I think going into Villa away, we'll have a lot of momentum. But still, I think we got to take it one game at a time. I think Arsenal, they still have 2 games over us. But on the flip side, you look at their run and they got, even Palace, which they're playing tomorrow, is a difficult game. They got West Ham, they got Chelsea, they got United, they have us. And then you look at our run, and really, other than Liverpool, you'd think we should win every game. And, probably a few weeks ago, you'd be looking at that last run of games and you'd be thinking, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Will we lose to the likes of Leicester? Will we lose to the likes of, Villa away? But now, just the way we're playing, I think the mentality is a lot better now. I think you can see the way you mentioned how, if you concede straight away, we, sort of come back. And that mentality hasn't been there for a while. Our heads usually drop. Everyone's, depressed, sad, and then it's just hard to watch. So, look, I'm confident that going into the next round of games, apart from Liverpool, we should be able to, win or draw most of those games. And, of course, the North London derby is going to be the massive one, which we're all looking forward to.
All right, Hassan, thank you for calling in. Is this your first time?
Yeah, new member. Joined yesterday.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, man.
Yeah.
A great call.
No
Where are you calling
worries.
from?
Yeah. Australia. So
Australia.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
in the car at the
wow.
moment,
What's
just
it?
making
Must
sure.
what? It's 8 in the morning over there, 9 in the morning.
5:40 actually.
5:40
but,
in
if
the
it's,
morning.
If
That's
it's
not
Spurs,
commitment then.
If it's Spurs,
Big
gotta
up
do,
to you,
gotta do
mate.
what you gotta do. No
Thank
worries.
you. Thank you for calling in. Please call in again. It was a great call.
Yeah, we'll do. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Cheers.
Come on,
Have
you
a good
guys.
one. Come on. Wow. 5 in the morning, which means you watch Tottenham at
3 o'clock.
God knows what. So, yeah.
2 or 3 o'clock.
And he's cool staying on to talk about it. Here's one guy who I'm sure is going to be delighted with the goal scorers today. Let's bring him on. Ariane. Yes, Ariane. How are we doing today, mate? I think you're on mute.
What's up, guys? Is that good?
Yeah, there you go. You're all good, mate.
I'm
Ben Davis
first
FC
of all,
strikes again.
I am absolutely delighted, and I'm also livid because I had a chemistry exam today, and I couldn't watch the game, so I missed the goal,
Oh,
and I couldn't see it
no.
live. I have seen the goal now. It's a great header. It's great and all, and I was super excited, but I'm livid because I didn't actually see the game. I'm not gonna be here for that long, so I don't want to waste the time for people who did see the game. But I'm happy because it was actually a great header. If I seen that live, I could not tell you what I would have done.
So you've seen 1-1 on your phone. You're like, okay, good. We're back level. And then you see the goal scorer.
Yeah,
what are you
right.
thinking?
When I see the goal scorer, I'm like, please. Part of me wants it to be a really shit goal that like kind of deflates, so no one gives him credit. So like I don't miss it. But part of me wants, obviously, because I love Davis, I want him to score an absolute banger. So I come back after the exam and I see the goal. And it's a great header. If I seen, it's not like a worldie or anything, but it's a good header. If I had seen that in person, like live, I would have freaked out. I promise you.
Well, look,
Man,
no one's mentioned Ben Davis today too much, so it's time for you to wax lyrical about him. I think he had another good game today, and he's been such a good look. Ever since Conte's come in, he's been brilliant in that left centre back role, hasn't he? And another good performance today, got us back in the game. And how important do you feel he is now to this Tottenham side?
I can't. Yeah, like I said, I can't speak much on this specific game. He scored a goal and all, but overall, under Conte, he's been a staple of the side. I mean, he's been out for like he's only like not started only a handful of games, like 1, 2, or 3 maybe. He's been solid almost every time he's played. I can't think of too many mistakes that he's made off the top of my head, especially compared to like how he used to be under Mourinho and all. Under Conte, he's been much better, much improved, and he's been fantastic on that left side. He not only provides that defensive cover that we've kind of associated him with. Oh, he's just gonna sit there, do his thing, be a little tidy, and maybe every couple of games he'll make a mistake. But other than that, he's a pretty consistent player. Now he's going forward even before the goal, we all noticed this. He was going forward. He was getting assists, like the Man United game, or not Man. What was the game I'm thinking of? But there was a couple of games where he was just forward like the whole game, and people remember that. Like Davis is forward. I think the first game I remember might have been the Leeds game where he almost scored on Conte's second league game, where he was up. The people thought it was Harry Kane that hit the keeper. No, it was Davis. He was basically the highest player on the pitch. So he's going all the way up the pitch, and he's providing this attacking support that weirdly he's not doing as a center back that we all were criticizing him for not doing as a fullback. And he's been such a key player in Conte's system. Does he need replacing? Maybe he is the weakest link in the back three, at least defensively. I'm not gonna sit here and deny that he's maybe not on the same level as like a Romero, but for what he's been doing and for who he is, and he's been at the club for however long, he's been a great servant. And this season specifically, especially, he's helped us a lot in that left hand side. I think people have to at least praise him for this season if they're not going to give him anything else. He's been a great, consistent player, and Conte can trust him. And you can see Conte does trust him. Telling a center back to go up the field and defend against Premier League teams is not an easy task. It's not an easy task. Some people might not notice that, but trusting a defender to go up the field while simultaneously providing defensive cover is a lot of trust the manager has to put in one player. You don't see Romero going all the way up the field as much as you see Davis, and you definitely don't see Dyer doing it as much. And that's because Davis's role is one that Conte trusts him to do, and he's been doing it, maybe not perfectly, but he's been doing it very well. He's been doing it very well, and I think we have to appreciate that.
All right, and quick before we let you go, then Ariane, are we getting top four? Yes or no?
Fuck it. Yes, we are. We are. We're not losing it to Arsenal. I refuse to lose it to Arsenal, man. I refuse to. It's not happening. It's not happening. We're getting it.
Absolutely
100%.
fantastic, Ariane. Good to see you, mate. And
Thanks for coming on.
looking forward to speaking to you very, very soon.
All right. See you guys. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on. All right, that was Ariane. All right, let's keep going. Let's get Tom on the stream.
Hey guys.
Tom, how are we doing, mate?
Doing well, thanks. Yeah, great win today. I called in after the West Ham game a couple of weeks ago, and I think today's performance was even better than that. So, yeah, you can see the confidence is running through the team at the moment. We're losing confidence. And what I love so much about the team at the moment is the composure, that we're showing in games. Every player looks like they're playing at the top of their game. And, yeah, it's just great to see. It's just brilliant at the moment.
Yeah, I think it was me and Josh when you called in on the West Ham game.
It was, yes, yeah.
I mean, we actually spoke about getting consistency and building from there. And all the players have gone away and had a good international break. Bergwijn scored, Kane scored, Son scored, Bentancur scored, all of their international breaks. We've come back and the first half was kind of very 50-50. Newcastle, I thought, actually played really well. They frustrated us. So Maximin was at times, spinning Emerson Royale like a Beyblade. And then we go 1-0 down. Some obviously brings down Joe Willock. But the character to go, bang, okay, that's fine. We don't mind being 1-0 down. We'll come back at you. And then Ben Davies gets a very good header. Son kind of makes up that with a good delivery from the corner. But the second half, I think that second half is as good as second half we've seen all season. We were absolutely incredible to a man. The only two players I think have been criticised were Lloris. He come running out of one part, completely missed the ball, and probably could have done a little bit better on the goal. And Emerson Royale, but everyone. I mean, sum it up. What do you make of Kulusevski and Bentancur?
Oh, just absolutely brilliant. They've made such a difference. Bentancur, Kulusevski coming in, Romero as well. I mean, we just look, chalk and cheese since the start of the season. And it's just brilliant. And if you can even add, in the summer, one or two more players of top quality, and on top of that, I'm thinking maybe the left side of the defence, although Davis is playing well at the moment, that could be an area. I was listening before about the Skip Højbjerg conundrum. I mean, my feeling is that Højbjerg is playing very, very well at the moment. In fact, I think he's playing the best he's ever done at Spurs. But if you ask me, I think probably Skip is the better player. I think he's more composed on the ball. And I think I mean, potentially you could rotate them, but I'd love to see Skip and Bentancur playing in the midfield. And I just wanted to ask you guys, do you think this is the best 11 that we've got at the moment? I know we're missing Reguilon today, but when Reguilon's back, is that our best 11 now? Do you think?
I think available, yeah. I think it's hard to argue against that. I mean, we haven't. I don't think Skip and Bentancur have actually played together yet, have they?
No, they haven't. No.
They're yet to be on the same pitch. So look, we're still yet to see that. But I think it's definitely the best. I mean, I think, yeah, I agree with you. I think Højbjerg is playing at a very high level at the moment, and I think he plays with a bit more authority than Skip plays. Although I think Skip has a lot more composure than Højbjerg has. So it'll be interesting to see how a Skip and Bentancur double pivot would look. I do think Bentancur has to be one of the two. I think he's nailed on at the point. But yeah, I think other than that decision, I think everywhere else on the pitch, I think you have to say that's probably our best, and especially up front three. I mean, I'm salivating every time I see them now. I mean, they all offer such different things, don't they? You got Son running in behind, you got Kane being the number 9 creator, and you got Kulusevski being that ball carrier on the right hand side as well.
It's just amazing. I mean, Kulusevski, he kind of like has given defenses more things to worry about now. So it's like an extra dimension now to our attack. Son and Kane, it looks like they're linking up now just as they did last season, and and now we've added a third man in. Yeah, and when Mora came on today, I thought he actually played pretty well when he came on, and Bergwijn. So
and Winks.
Like I was saying last time, if we can start adding goals from different areas in the pitch, this is what we need. Because for so long we've been so reliant on just Kane and Son's goals. The really pleasing thing is that we're just coming into top form at the right time. So, we've got our foot right on the gas now. And, I'm not quite sure, the next 4 games, if we just keep up this level of performance, they're not going to be able to live with us. That will be 12 points. And we just need to just keep going for the throat. And that's what I really like about this team now, is that it seems like we've got that high pressing, aggressive football back like we had under Poch. We haven't had that for so long.
I haven't seen it. The way we pressed the ball today, I don't think we've pressed the ball as well this season. Every single time Newcastle got the ball, they were so far pinned into their final third that the ball just come back to us. I mean, we've got Villa, Brighton, Brentford, and Leicester. We need to win at least 3 of those games. So we should be winning 4 realistically, but I know we're building consistency, but anything can happen in football. We could easily drop points. Who would have thought Brentford would have put 4 past Chelsea yesterday? But the key to all of this is the consistency. The fact that we are scoring more goals than Liverpool and Man City in 2022, and we don't normally have only got 2 goal scorers in our team. That's what makes Man City so good. Is they don't have a goal scorer. Everyone contributes. If Kane or Son go out, we're like, right, someone's seriously got to step up. Whereas if De Bruyne goes out, you're still going to get goals from Grealish, Sterling, Bernardo Silva. They kind of go for a phase where one player's on fire at one point. Last season it was Gundogan. This season it's Riyad Mahrez. Season before it was Raheem Sterling. Season before that was Aguero. With us it's kind of like just Kane and Son. And now that Kulu's in there, he's a fantastic creator. The ball. He's had what is it? You said 7 goal contributions
7
in 8
8
games.
Yeah, in 8 games.
I mean, for a 21-year-old to come to a new country, into the toughest league in the world, playing for a team that at the time were struggling. Then we've lost games at home to Southampton and Wolves, and then we've just kind of flipped a new switch, gone up 5 notches, won 6 of the last 8 games. The only games we've lost are to Burnley and to Man United. Since then, we've put 4 past Leeds, 5 past Everton, 2 past Brighton, 3 past West Ham, and then 5 past Newcastle, scoring 13 goals in the last 2 games. It really is incredible what Conte and these players have done.
And we're playing, and we're defending well now as well. We look like we're a more cohesive unit as well. And this is the benefits you get when Conte has time on the training ground with these players. We never had that before when we were messing about in the Conference League and
playing every 3 or 4 days or something.
Yeah, we had, and that was difficult. But now we're reaping the rewards, and you're seeing the performances. And the scary thing is the scary thing at the moment is it looks like we can even get better. That's the pleasing thing. So yeah, just got to just keep going, and I obviously just take each game as it comes. The Villa game next, I'm more than happy with just a 1-0 win. In the
just anything 3 points is the must. Even if we scrape a 1-0 or a 2-1, just getting the points on the board. Palace have got to do us a favour tomorrow, though. I will say that.
Yeah. That'll be a tough one for Arsenal, I think, because Palace at Selhurst Park, that's a tough game now, because they're probably one of the most improved teams in the league now.
Yeah, I agree. They're a very, very tough game, and obviously they took points off City very recently as well. But look, Tom, unfortunately we are running out of time, so we have to leave you. Got one more guest after you as well. So
no worries.
Great to have you on. Please do call in again. Great to see you, and we'll see you. Hopefully, see you after another Spurs win.
For sure.
Thanks for coming on, Tom.
See you next time, guys. Thanks very much.
Nice one, Tom.
Take care, mate.
Cheers, guys.
And last caller, unfortunately, we have to be a bit quick, but we'll get him on. 100%. We can't leave a fan show without having this guy on. It's the Irish Hotspur. It's David Harris. Come on. Your pump-ups have been working the trick, David. Lovely to see you as always, my man. How are we doing?
No, look, first of all, they weren't working the trick. I had to go over there to sort them out against Brighton and West Ham, rattle a few cages, and now it's working the trick, my man. No, look, I'm absolutely buzzing. Look, before the game, I was saying about our fullbacks having to push forward, maybe Davies and Romero having to push forward to be able to get by Newcastle if they did sit low block. And I was speaking about that in the pre-match pump-up, and it absolutely worked the treat. Matt Doherty, Emerson and Davies all scoring goals, which also answers the question, can we score goals outside of Son and Kane? Yes, we can. You go back to some of the games over the last few weeks, Session's been on the score sheet, there's been others. So, I mean, there's been a lot of questions answered lately, and this team is only coming to the fore now. It is really starting to roar under Conte at the minute.
Yeah, well, you think we're finally seeing this Conte team really come to fruition now, aren't we? We're not just winning games as well. We're absolutely annihilating teams. And how important do you think that is for the confidence of the team, that we're not just getting by like, those lot down the road? We're actually... the last 20 minutes for the past 5 games, the last 20 minutes have been a non-event for pretty much all of them. How much of a difference that make? Yeah, the game's been done off with 20 minutes to go. How much confidence do you think that gives to the team?
Oh, it gives them a lot of confidence, because before, look, it's a big change and a big shift in mentality, because before, with 20 minutes to go, us fans and the players were nervous if it was a tight game, but having the game done nice and early with 20 minutes to spare, it's kind of, I'm getting used to it and I can enjoy it, to be honest with you. I could get used to this for sure. And it's what Tottenham Hotspur should be doing. You look at the size of the club, the size of the stadium, so our history, it's what Tottenham should be doing. We should be winning these games with ease. And that's exactly what we've done. I just want, the only reason why I really wanted to come on, to be honest with you, well, 2 things is, first, look, it's been a hard 2 years for Spurs fans. It's been a long, hard 2 years for all the Spurs fans. And I just say to everybody today, rather than, have any arguments or trying to pick faults or negatives or anything in the game today, just sit back, relax and enjoy it. It's good to have this positive feeling around the club again. Everybody believing we can get top 4. You look at the league table today. I mean, it's unbelievable. It gives you an absolute stiffy, because we're now sitting inside top 4. 4 goals, what are we, 2 goals ahead of Arsenal now inside the top 4 as well?
Yeah, 2 goals.
And they have pressure on them going to Palace tomorrow. We've asked a different question of that young, naive Arsenal team going into a Palace game. The pressure's on. Let's see what they can do.
Dave, I want to talk to you about one man. I know you are a massive fan of his, and all the way he was going through a lot of stick. And I'll hold my hands up. A lot of us gave him crap for wanting to leave the club. And to be fair, you might say at the time it was justified. But you stuck by him. But how good is Harry Kane?
Look, Henry, I don't blame anybody that had a go. At the end of the day, look, if a player doesn't want to be here and you've loved him, it hurts. It really does hurt. But first of all, before I move on, I do have to give Sim credit, because I'm not the only one in this. Sim, when you know, my man. When
you know, mate. Exactly.
To be fair, you did. Yeah, to be fair.
But look, Henry, look, my opinion was based on what Harry Kane has done in the past for Tottenham. He was always going to come back to form. He was always going to score goals and assist goals, because he brought the assist into his game last season, the passing ability and stuff like that. But this season, under Conte, with better players behind him, he is reaching a whole new level. Look, I know a lot of people probably aren't really going to give maybe Harry Kane too much praise today, and they'll be looking at man the match elsewhere. For me, I thought the guy was absolutely at the heart of every good attack, playing the balls in around the corner, switching the play, playing balls in behind, and then catching up with play to receive it again. I thought he was absolutely excellent. And look, people laugh at me a lot of the times, and people call me deluded. I wasn't messing when I said Harry Kane, king of the lane, best number 10 in world football, Henry.
Damn right. Damn right. And quickly, before we go, Matt Doherty today, left wing back, not right wing back. To 1 goal, 1 assist. He's really come. He really has had a resurrection, hasn't he?
Yeah, look, Sim, we've been hanging around together too much because I actually wanted to end on Matt Doherty, so this is perfect. Look, I'll be honest, and I'm going to hold my hands up here. I'm big enough to do it. Look, I've been a huge critic of Matt Doherty. I still think I'm justified to question him defensively. You look back over some of the games over the last few weeks, even though he's played well going forward, defensively he has been found wanting. But today, I'm not going to lie, I was very worried going into this game today with him at left wing back because, to be fair, it kind of happened a lot in the first half. But I just knew he has no left foot. He's never going to go on the outside of the guy and try and whip a ball in. He was always going to look to come back in on his right foot, play it inside or play it backwards. And that's what happened for a lot of the first half. But look, credit to the guy. This is a guy that has been slandered, ridiculed, but look, by me more so than anybody, but a lot of the Spurs fan base as well. And especially after last year's performance against Arsenal, he really has turned it around. And that's why I come across a great song today. And in order to make up for everything I've said about Matt Doherty, I'm just going to give it an outburst of a line, and hopefully people do enjoy it. It's to the tune of Mrs. Robinson by Simon and Garfunkel. Here's to you, Matthew Doherty. The Yids, we love you more than you know. Whoa. Here's to you, Matthew Doherty. The Yids, we love you more than you know. Whoa. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
We trust and stay on the positivity train. Choo choo. Let's go. Great
Let's
show.
Go. Someone tagged Simon Cowell in this, mate. We find a new talent here, I think. Absolutely brilliant, lad. Good to see you, mate.
Nah, look, I'm in absolutely flying form. Everybody, just enjoy the positivity and keep loving this club. Never, ever let the love die. I know it tested a lot of people over the last few years, but look, this is why we support Tottenham. It's the best club to support in the world and the only one that can give you heart failure and belief in the second season. Come on.
Come on. Absolutely brilliant, David. Great to see the flat cap back end. We have run out of time now, so I don't know if there is anyone else in the back end, but if there isn't, apologies about that. But well, another brilliant fan show, a brilliant day to be a Tottenham fan, back into the top 4, a brilliant performance, a brilliant display. Henry, it's been a pleasure having you again in the studio today. Absolute pleasure having you. Everyone, if you haven't already, go over to Henry Wright TV and subscribe to this man's channel. Brilliant, brilliant Tottenham content. Show him some love.
Still 700 watching as well.
Well, there you go. So come on, all 700 of you, go over to Henry and show him some love. But look, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for all the callers, the commenters, the super chats, everyone for interacting for the stream. Really, really appreciate everyone supporting the channel. It's been a brilliant day for Tottenham. 5-1 against Newcastle. Everyone can sleep well tonight and enjoy the rest of your Sundays. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs!